Hey, Screaming Geek Media here. I am Jerry the Geek. This video we're going to talk about my monthly theme I did for February, where I did true stories and events. But before we get into that, if you like physical media, if you like 4Ks, Blu-rays, DVDs, if you like home theater, movies in general, check out my other videos on my channel because I do discussions, reviews, unboxings, collection updates. Check that stuff out, see what you like. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn your bell notifications on. So this video, originally I wasn't planning on doing, but I just decided to go ahead and do one anyways. I've been doing monthly themes this year. January I did the movies that came out on physical media in 2023. I don't feel like going back and doing a overview of all those for you. But I did want to go back and do like February was all about true stories and movies based on actual events or inspired by true events. And I had a lot to go through. I got through 23 of them during the month of February. I'll kind of hit some couple highlights on each one. Try not to spend too much time here, but because as I'm doing these monthly themes, I'll probably come across some of these movies that you might not know about, so I'll definitely want to get some recommendations out there for you to check out. So first off, we're going to start off with The Blind Side. Now this is based on a true story of Michael Orr. It has Sandra Bullock in it, and also has Tim McGraw. Great movie. I've watched this I don't know how many times. It still gets to me. It's got a great story, got the cast and great performances. Next up, we got Deepwater Horizon with Mark Wahlberg. Also got Kurt Russell in it. Based on a story about had a fire and explosion on an oil rig off in the Gulf of Mexico. I think of Mark Wahlberg, I mean, he's one of the leaders when it comes to doing true stories. He loves doing true story movies. He's done a lot. Him and Tom Hanks has probably done the most. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend checking out Deepwater Horizon if you haven't seen it. Great movie. Now, next up is a pair of true stories. It's a kind of continuation. We got Dolphin Tale, number 1 and 2. About the famed dolphin named Winter, where they got stranded on a beach and they rescued her, and then she ended up had to amputate her tail, and they had to make a prosthetic tail. Great movie, even the second one just as good. It has to continue the story. Also got Morgan Freeman in it. We got Chris Christopherson, Ashley Judd, Harry Connick Jr. So great cast, on both of these. Phenomenal job. I definitely recommend checking both of these out if you haven't. Next up, we got Cool Runnings with John Candy. Inspired by the true story of the first Jamaican bobsled team in the Olympics. This was a Disney exclusive club, so you had to belong to the club to get a hold of this. Phenomenal movie. Definitely, if they still have these in stock, I'd try to find a way to get a hold of this. This is a great movie. It's such a fun movie. Next up, we've got Life Mark. It's done by the Kendrick brothers, who's known for doing a lot of Christian movies. This movie has to do with adoption. And touches a base of what could have happened if if the mother would have got the abortion, and it kind of this guy limited release. No one wanted to touch it because at the time this was scheduled to come out, he had all the abortion rights stuff going on, and no one wanted to touch this and release it, so it had a very limited release. But it's not an anti-abortion movie in my opinion. It's anti-abortion without being anti-abortion. They don't throw it in your face. It's all about the mother, making a choice of putting her child up for adoption instead of having an abortion. So it's a very well done movie. I love the Kendrick brothers movies. Everything they do, I freaking love. And this one, this is great. It also has, Kirk Cameron. He's done a couple of movies for them. I even did a review for this to check out if you want to. But I would recommend getting this. This is a great movie. Next up, we got another faith-based movie. We got Breakthrough on 4K. After watching this last month, I definitely want to do a review for it. But I would recommend checking this out. It has to do with, kid falls through the ice and, they get rescued. And in the ER, he actually basically dies. And they call it, but then, the mother comes in to say goodbye. And she just, pleads to God. And, he actually comes back to life. And so the rest of the movie is all struggle, regaining, coming back. It is a really great movie. I mean, we saw this on streaming a while back, so when I had a chance to get this on 4K recently, I had to get it. It would definitely pull out your heartstrings, definitely made me cry during a couple of scenes where it's very emotional. Next up we've got American Underdog. The true story of, Kurt Warner, quarterback for the LA Rams. Or what? No, shit, I forgot. I keep forgetting LA went to St. Louis for a while, so I can't remember if this took place when they were still St. Louis or after they moved back to LA. I think it might have been St. Louis. I can't remember. But yeah, this is a great story talking about, what he was born to do. He had this dream of becoming a professional football player, and then everything is just nothing ever materialized. But this is a great movie. Definitely, it's worth checking out. Next up, we've got Air. It has Ben Affleck in it. And we also got Matt Damon, Jason Bateman, Marlon Wayans, Chris Messina, Chris Tucker, Viola Davis. This has to do with about the Nike company going after Michael Jordan, getting him signed, building a whole shoe line around him to get him in. My wife and I saw it at this theater, freaking loved it. When this came out on video, I wanted to get it. Price-wise, I had to wait till it go on sale. They never released it on 4K, but it's like a movie that's like, I don't have to have it in 4K, so I got the Blu-ray here. Great movie, worth checking out. Next up, we got Sully. We talked about Mark Wahlberg and Tom Hanks doing true story movies, so this is a Tom Hanks one. The pilot named Sully that lands a plane into the Potomac River, and the whole investigation, they're trying to, make him responsible. There's surprise, I just watched this recently. This was my first time watching it. I loved it. And of course it was directed by Clint Eastwood, but I forgot about that. But great movie, definitely worth it. You got to check this out if you haven't seen it. Next up, we got Soul Surfer. It has to do with a surfer named Bethany Hamilton, who actually she lost her arm from a shark accident. And, showed the struggles, continuing and getting back and doing surfing again. Also has Helen Hunt and Dennis Quaid, another phenomenal cast, great performances, and a great story to boot. Next up, another Mark Wahlberg movie, Patriots Day. Phenomenal job, has to do with the bombing at the Boston Marathon. Next up, we have Unstoppable. This is a movie done by the late Tony Scott. It is not a complete true story. It's more inspired by true events, about a runaway train and all that. And this is I don't know how many times I've watched this. It's a phenomenal movie. And I wish they would put it on 4K, but even that, the Blu-ray here is incredible. It's impeccable, being Fox title. I mean, when you're watching it, you would think you're watching a 4K. It looks that damn good. And the audio track to boot will knock your socks off. This will shake the shit out of your house. So if you've not seen Unstoppable, Denzel Washington and Chris Pine, you gotta see it. It's an incredible movie. It's worth getting. Next up, we've got Remember the Titans. This is definitely one of me and my wife's favorite movies. We've watched this a million times. Another Denzel Washington movie. Another one of those I wish it would get a 4K release, but being under the Disney banner, I don't see that happening. But yeah, this is definitely an all-time favorite. Definitely you have to have this in your collection. Next up, we got another sports movie. We've got Miracle with Kurt Russell. It has to do with the U.S. Olympic ice hockey team that put together. Another phenomenal job, incredible. Another one I'd love to see a 4K of. It really needs it. Next up, I got another nice inspirational movie, I Can Only Imagine. It's based on the song done from the Christian band called Mercy Me. The lead singer, his name is Bart Miller. All revolves around his life and the abuse from his father, played by Dennis Quaid, which does a phenomenal job here. Which I love Dennis Quaid. Does a great job anything he does, and This one is incredible. So if you, I did a review of this, but yeah, if you haven't seen this, I highly recommend getting this. It's incredible. Now, next up is a streaming one I don't have on physical media yet, but my wife was kind of interested in watching. Is the Devotion. We watched it on Paramount Plus. Very good movie, nice true story, war movie based. I would definitely recommend checking that out if you can. I do want to add this to the collection sometimes. We definitely would watch this again. Now, next up is another streaming one we watched on Disney Plus called Togo. Has to do with a sled dog named Togo, where this breeder played by Willem Dafoe. Basically, he breeds these dogs, and a lot of times, some he keeps and some he sells. But this one particular dog, he wanted to get rid of. It was just a pain in the ass, and it just never happened. So ended up keeping it and became, part of the family. And it has to do with this big storm that came through, and what he went through to go to help save this little village. And apparently for the longest time, a different dog got all the credit for it, and it wasn't until recently that we all learned about the true story of Togo. So definitely another one worth checking out if you haven't seen it. Now, next up is another great classic. I haven't got this on Blu-ray yet. I don't know why. Is The Right Stuff. I still have on DVD. I'm waiting for 4K. This would be phenomenal 4K. It needs it because this DVD looks pretty crappy and it really needs an upgrade. But another great story about the beginning of the NASA program, the astronauts, all about finding the right stuff, what it takes to want to be into an astronaut, what it takes. But we got great, the cast here is incredible. We got Sam Shepard, Scott Glenn, Ed Harris, Dennis Quaid, Fred Ward, Barbara Hershey, Kim Stanley, Veronica Cartwright, Lance Hendrickson. So phenomenal job. And plus the score was done by Bill Conti. Phenomenal score. It's never really one of my favorites. It's just like the music score has a good feeling. When you hear a lot of it, it's like, oh, it just gives you kind of goosebumps. It's incredible. Next up, another one I haven't upgraded yet, still got DVD, is Radio. There's Cuba Gooding Jr., Ed Harris. Phenomenal job here. I love everything Cuba is in. He just does a phenomenal job, anything he does. And the way he plays this character is incredible. Next up, we got another sports movie, Bleed for This, has Aaron Eckhart and Miles Teller, that actually was played in Top Gun Maverick. And it's about a boxing movie. I knew not, I don't follow boxing, so I knew nothing about the story here. And it has to do with, the guy has a car wreck and breaks his neck and he refuses to get a fusion done. And instead he gets that halo, and I never knew what all involved. And they show the whole process and how he healed with having that done, how it's screwed into your skull. So phenomenal job. This is an incredible movie. I recommend checking this out if you can. Great movie here. And my last true story we're going to talk about, another sports one, is a baseball movie, The Hill. Another Dennis Quaid movie, surprisingly. Another one I like to do in true stories. About a baseball phenomenon called, his name was Ricky Hill. I actually did film a review for this, but I haven't edited and posted it yet. So keep an eye out for that pretty soon. I need to get some screenshots and get that taken care of. I've been really slacking lately. I've been watching movies instead of doing reviews. And then to get off my ass and get stuff done. I'm getting behind. But yeah, this is a great movie, about a kid growing up. He loved baseball and he had a dream of becoming a professional baseball player. And so many things come against him, and you got to watch this. It is really good. So there you have it. That pretty much does it for my true story movies, and true events inspired movies that I watched in the month of February. So I might do a video each month to give you an idea of what I'm watching and give you a little heads up and, little thoughts about the movies and recommendations. Month of March, I'm doing movies that have wrestlers in it. Even, some of them were their main stars or little cameos, little small roles. A lot of them you would never expect that are in movies. So I've got a ton of those to go through, and I've already went through about 20 of them. So definitely, my links below for Instagram. You can follow me there, and plus Letterboxd to see what I'm watching each day. So every day I'm always posting what I'm watching. Comment below. Let me know what you think of any of these movies that are in my list that I watched in February. If you've never heard of some of them, if you think you might be interested in, or if you have any suggestions of what you'd like to see me do. As far as the different themes I'm going to do, I've got enough true stories. I could probably do another month sometime, which is possible. Same with the wrestlers. I've got a ton of those to go through. I'm also thinking about doing like Christian faith-based movies because I got a lot of those. I always mention in a couple of reviews I've done of Christian movies, like, I'm not a Christian. Never be scared of. If you see a Christian movie out there, don't be scared of it because you don't have to be a Christian to enjoy the movies. They're just a lot of them are just that damn good. Also, like doing like Marvel, DC, I'm thinking of doing like a Arnold Schwarzenegger month. Sylvester Stallone. And I guess I'm not sure what else. I'm throwing some different things around, but give me some ideas what you think would be good that I'm actually have. Like one of them I was thinking about doing Bill Paxton, but I don't have enough of his to probably warrant doing a themed month of Bill Paxton. Because I have a few of his where he played small roles, but regardless, like I said, let me know what you think and what you like to see me do, and we'll see you soon. Geek out.